Hello everyone, welcome. So today I've got a pair of Fluid Audio C5 studio monitors. I actually purchased these because I have a use for them, but as I love to, I purchased them as faulty. It seems to have, well, what was described to me was they have an intermittent fault. I have ran them for over half an hour at a quite hefty volume and driven them quite hard with no problems. So this could be a fruitless error. But never know. I'm still going to pop inside. So this is the active side, the other one is a passive side, and that connects here. So let's whip inside and have a wee look, see if there's anything screaming at our face that could cause a intermittent fault. It could be just the fact that it's a dry solder joint. As it's running, it's generating heat, circuit board expands, and then it becomes intermittent. It could be I was running it through the RCA inputs and the problem is only present on the 1/4 inch. What I would have to test separately, but there you go, might as well have a look. Alright. I haven't looked inside these yet, so you can do it. Okay. I think I see something. Sorry, you guys are all blurred. Autofocus doesn't do a very good job, does it? Let's get some clippers and clip that cable tie. They really have designed this to be perfect width between the heatsink and the soldered in. That's soldered in. Where is this going and what is it doing? Hey, there we are. Alright, you're going to focus up. So I can see a discoloration of the circuit board, and just in case, let's get something more pointy. So in here we got, looks like potentially glued capacitors, or they have leaked. That's a very shiny glue. Does that mean? Yeah, I can see it has been used elsewhere, but it isn't that colour. So there's a large amount of heat generated. Is it the diodes generating it or the... So I guess now be a case of stripping down a bit more and having a look at that circuit board. Okay. It'd be good if you guys could see in any form of focus. Let's see if I can change that. Okay, that's a bit better. The best that this camera will do. So I can see there is a level of darkness running across here and over here as well. That is that glue, but this is an intense level of heat. Like, you can't see it, but there is a discoloration, a slight deformity in the colour of the copper. As you can see, it's sunk a lot of heat in there, and it is mainly at those diodes. Let's stand the bridge rectifier back up. So it's interesting as well, this form of glue they've used on top of these capacitors are darker. At the same time, the resistor, they've raised these resistors up. So it's a few things. It's A, the actual diodes themselves are getting extremely hot, or the resistors are getting hot. As the board is technically upside down, well, that would mean that, yeah, these resistors that they've got really high up on still on their legs, you know, they're quite a good centimetre so high up, are upside down. So heat likes to rise, but there is not exactly any discoloration exactly underneath the resistors themselves. So yeah, begs to differ. Has the circuit board become conductive to this level of heat? So what I'm going to do is probably stop the video here for a little bit. I'll probably desolder these parts so I can get to the board and see if any light scratching, we'll remove it. These capacitors will probably get replaced due to the amount of heat they've been near to. Probably wouldn't be too good. And yeah, it begs to differ. Do we move the diodes? Because they look like they're the ones generating the heat. Diodes and maybe the resistors, moving to the other side. I know there's the port here. So yeah, I know the port runs along here. Yeah, we'll have a look what diodes these are and potentially uprate them so they don't get as hot and they can handle considerably more current without any problem. So bear with me. Rightio. So I've cleaned off the components in this area and I've checked it out for conductance. Yes, it's scorched, but it is not conductive. It runs up into tens of megaohms plus from any point, even the probes close to each other and being pushed into the board. So this is just purely mainly discoloration at the moment. Lucky enough, this isn't actually copper. It is a PCB mask that is a print of the actual copper on the bottom, so nicely able to trace where everything is. So it is more of a case of the Zener diodes. I do feel that they are underrated for where they're running, because they are generating a lot of heat and it is just pumping it into the board, and at the same time, as this PCB in the cab is upside down, the heat has nowhere to go but just sit here all the time. So as my suspicions are, the capacitors are knackered. One is reading about 130 ohms, no capacitance left in it at all, and the other one is reading about 480 picofarads. So they are dead. And then I thought, oh, I'll check this one. It's a little bit further away, so this one sits over here by the little transistor, and even this one is reading way out of tolerance. And I know it's only a 1 microfarad, and they usually have a little bit higher ESR anyway, but this thing was really high. So we're going to deck it out with new caps. I've had a little look in my own stash of stuff, but I don't have any higher wattage Zeners. So I believe these are 15 volt Zener diodes. So what I plan to do is to reuse these, but mount them on the other side of the circuit board and run. So they mount here and here, and then run, because I've got some solid core wire, old radio spares, vintage stuff, usually use it for the valve amps I sort out, and then run that up and around on both sides, because there is a plastic port here, so I ideally don't want them having here raised off the board, because they're going to be directly under a plastic port. So if they're sitting here, one in the air here, one in the air here, then any heat that is generated then can just go up and away. But that is going to be a short-term measure, because I will order some higher wattage ones so they don't get so hot, and still mount them here for future proofing, because luckily this side of the board is a-okay. Slight discoloration, as you can just see in this area. I can see a little bit of colour ripple, but nothing's actually burnt, so that is all good. So enough of me nattering, let's get to it. Okie dokie. So what we're going to do, stick some power in, and we are on. Use our knob. Lovely and quiet. Can't hear anything. So, would play music, but that's always a copyright thing, and I haven't obtained any copyright-free music yet. But no, on the sides of this, I think I'm quite happy with that. I will uprate those diodes to something that can handle more heat. But thank you for everyone's time, and appreciate you watching this if you did. And till next time.